Hey everyone, welcome to the Star Wars Popcast, episode 17. My name is Christopher,
And I'm Patrick.
and today, not too much news as far as Funko Pops go. I don't know, since Celebration, there hasn't been a whole lot of news or rumors, so nothing really going on. Pretty
No.
quiet. Yeah, nothing really going on. We did have the season finale of the Mandalorian season 3. A really really great episode. I don't think it was as good as the season 2 season finale for me, but it was still really good though. Like a lot of good action.
I agree. I think season two is a great finale for season
Yeah,
two. And it was very epic, right? It was,
yeah,
kind of got something that we never in our wildest dreams thought we'd get. So that was really a surprise and awesome.
yeah,
Um, this one I thought it was really the last two episodes are really one because I mean it picked up right when the
yeah,
last episode cut off. So which I thought was
yeah,
excellent. You get thrown right into the mix. It didn't
yeah.
stop from there. It's
All the
nonstop
action
action,
was great. Like all the Mandalorians flying in and fighting those super commandos,
flying
and
battles. That was
the
just
big like
insane.
the big ceremony at the end where they're lighting the Great Forge again and for
Yep.
Mandalore, and they're clanging their gauntlets together, and that gave me chills, man.
Yeah,
Last
Ragnar
time I got yeah
finally getting baptized as a Mandalorian.
yeah, but that scene where they're all shouting for Mandalore in front of the Great Forge, like that gave me chills. The last time I got chills like that was watching
Yes,
the Rise of Skywalker when all the ships arrived in Exegol, and they're like, there's more of us, and I got those
yes,
chills there. And then
that was really
the
a great scene.
last time I got chills was like that was what was it? Was it Endgame? Was it Endgame where they had the big final battle?
Yep.
Yeah, those three moments recently, like in the past, like I don't know, whatever, 10 years. Those three moments gave me chills. Like every time I watch them, I get chills. Such great moments.
Yeah, that was really I really liked it. I thought it was nonstop action, and quite
Yeah,
honestly, the way I looked at it is it wrapped up basically all three seasons. The storylines for all three seasons.
yeah.
We got was there
And
closure in
you
this
got a little bit
season
of
in terms of
setup.
the
You got a little
story?
bit of setup for season 4 too.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a cute little ending, really. At the end, it was
Yeah,
nicely packaged together. It
yeah.
could have honestly been wrapped up like a series finale, not just a
Oh yeah,
season,
you
which I
could,
thought was kind of
you could.
interesting the way it was done.
I mean,
Because it could spin
it's
off from
not
other things.
yeah, it's not the last season because I mean we know he's already written what the next two seasons, hasn't he, or season 4 at least.
He's at least, I think, working on four and maybe tackling. He's got something for four, but tackling the beginnings or
Yeah, so
earlier
it's
writings.
not the last season, but I mean who knows? Maybe it's the last of Din Djarin because like the Mandalorian title could mean. I mean we're going off topic here. We're a Star Wars Funko Pop cast, but um, the title The Mandalorian could mean like it could follow any Mandalorian really. So like you could have like say 3 seasons following this Mandalorian and then 3 seasons following this, and maybe in another maybe
Yeah,
skip a season and then you could come back to Grogu and Din Djarin, and Grogu's growing up a bit now.
or it could just mean the Mandalorian, like the many of them. Like, do they have to say
Yeah,
Mandalorians? I don't know. The
yeah.
Mandalorian, like just as a people. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think
I'm excited to
the
see what
way it's
comes.
written. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the way it's written, I kind of get this kung fu style, right? Because it really does have
Yeah.
that Western, and it kind of has like you kind of pull in that Ahsoka Kurosawa style stuff into it as well. And
Yeah.
I think they mesh well together. And I know Filoni, I know Lucas was very into that. So I think that they kind of can play that up to do a little bit more with it. You know what I mean? Kind of like Kung Fu the series, where he's the young grasshopper, right? You got
Yeah.
Din Grogu now, the young
Yeah.
grasshopper. He's
Yeah.
now becoming the learner of the ways of the Mandalorian
Yeah.
officially as an apprentice. So that's going to be
Yeah.
fun. I personally would like to see him aged up. I'd like let's skip a few
So would
years.
I. I would like
I
to
don't
see
care what his
like a time jump. maybe 5-10
Yep,
years,
time jump, and
five
let's
maybe.
give a shit about his first words. I know a lot of
See
people
them
are gonna
come
be
back.
like,
Yeah,
"What?"
see them come
Like,
back
let's just have
from
him
an
speaking.
adventure. Like similar to Attack of the Clones, where Obi-Wan and Anakin come back after being off doing whatever they do, and they come back to Attack of the
It was
Clones, and
awesome.
they're in doing a little bit of a time jump.
Yeah, and
Plus,
you
it would
know
be
what?
like
I
poetry. It
think
would be like poetry
yeah, and
to Anakin and Obi-Wan, right? 10 years later.
yeah,
Yeah,
and we can tie that back into our Funko. This is why we talk about and kind of go off topic, but you tie that back in because then we'd get a whole new like batch of Grogu's. Like imagine that, like
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
who's already
Din
burnt
Grogu.
out of Grogu
We're
this,
we're
right?
we're already gonna get the
Get a
repackaging
cool.
with the Din Grogu.
I hope not. I hope not. The only real thing I'd like to see from this season is with his jacket open, where you get the mesh and then the big plate, as that would be awesome.
Yeah,
That would be,
yeah,
I
that'd be
think,
cool.
phenomenal to have at this point. But anything
Yeah,
other than that, I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah,
So as I mentioned,
I
not too much happening
each
in
them up.
Funko news though. So do you have any
Nothing.
pickups you'd like to share?
Pickup, sure. So a few pickups that I have recently picked up is I have finally got received these.
Nice, nice,
Aw.
nice. So I
So
assume
I
you're going to
got
be
my.
photographing that Jar Jar really soon, then, eh?
I think so. I think so. Just for you, but I've got no. I actually I am. So to give you a little sneak peek at what I'm going to do is I actually have
Wait, because you
from
got the Jar Jar. I got
Jar Jar.
the perfect thing
I've
for
got
you.
the pod racer from the 3.25 inch.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm going to incorporate that and try to do a little virtual volume and try to pull it all together to make an image. But yes, so that is coming.
Yeah,
That is coming.
yeah,
I did pick up this.
yeah. See, so I didn't pick up anything lately. Oh, you got the Dooku. Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm still
So
waiting for my I'm still waiting for my Darth Vader. So
I have him. I did. I
you have the
recently
Darth
got
Vader?
him. Yeah, I
Yeah,
have Vader. I have Vader. I just recently got Vader as well. Um,
yeah,
I think I have him downstairs already. Because I had Vader. Thinking, I honestly thought I had Dooku. I went downstairs and looked through my collection. I'm like, bang, 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 bang. No, and I thought maybe I'm crazy. Oh, it might be over here. I checked a couple other places. I'm like, no, I really didn't have Dooku. And I thought I did, and I don't know. I must have talked about it for so long. I was kind of surprised. I was kind of
oh,
surprised. Yeah.
yeah. So
Um,
I
and
haven't picked
then
up. Yeah,
and
I
then
haven't picked up anything since the last episode. So since last week. So
yeah, I don't know if I showed off the. I know we opened up Greedo together, but I
yeah,
did get the
and you showed
facet.
off your R2. Yeah, you showed
Yeah,
off
I
that
did
one.
get that.
Yeah, so that's
And I
pretty
have
much it,
two
eh?
other things that. Yeah, I have two other things that I haven't done the unboxings of, but I know what they are.
Yeah, okay.
Um, I have the poster, Target exclusive, the Star Wars original New Hope poster pop,
Oh,
the
nice.
big
That
one
thing's huge.
with the kind of more
Yeah, that
6 inch
thing's
Luke.
huge. Yep.
Yeah, so I have that. My cats are currently using it as a place to hang out on top of
Hey,
right
why
now.
not? Yeah.
And I got so if you watch the Dano channel, he had done a video like a week or so ago on a holocron that you can get,
Yeah.
and it was very exclusive prior to it was opening the Galaxy's Edge time era, but prior to the Star Cruiser being open, and
Great.
apparently it has Obi-Wan in it or something. I don't and so it's just so neat and it's so rare to have to get one. And while they're
Yeah.
still available, I went to the guy's site that he recommended and I picked up one. So I'm going to be doing an unboxing of both of those in the
Nice.
next probably tomorrow morning.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited to do those.
Yeah. So before we hop into our top five, we do have a special guest later on in the episode. We have Fish from the K Dog and Fish YouTube channel. So really excited to be talking
Yes.
to him today. Yeah. So,
Very
but
excited.
without further ado, let's jump into our top five and talk about what Funko Pops we'd like to see from that last episode, chapter 24, the return.
Magnificent, aren't they?
Starting off with my top five. So as soon as I saw this one, I was like, "Yep, need to have this as a Funko Pop." Um, R5D4 with the little rockets out the side. I think it'll look
That's an
really really awesome.
awesome
Yeah.
idea.
So
Awesome.
I was thinking like we don't have any droids. I mean, other than the Dark Trooper, if you consider him a droid, but we
Yeah,
don't have
I
any
do.
we don't have any droids with the base where it's like a smoke base or a flame base. So I think this is a good opportunity to do so.
Dark Trooper, yeah, the Dark Trooper's the only one. Dark Trooper's the
Yeah.
only one.
I was thinking there was a chopper, but I think that's the Black Series chopper that has the base that's like the
Yes,
flames and it's yeah.
you're
So
correct.
I think this would be a great opportunity to do a droid with the flames coming, and you'll see a theme with my top five here because a lot of them are going to be flying. Because you know what, you and I say time and time again, like the ones with the clear bases, the acrylic bases, where it's like the flames coming out of the jetpack. They're
I
some of the
love
best
them.
pops. Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
they're some
them.
of the better ones. Like Boba Fett, Jango Fett. You got like we said, the Dark Trooper.
So
That's
many of my
me, man.
favorite pops that I photographed have that
Yeah,
effect, and an upcoming Dark Trooper with Grogu has that effect. And that's coming up. But I love that how they do those
yeah,
bases. Great idea
for
to
sure.
incorporate that in this droid. Cool
Yeah,
idea.
absolutely. And a
Love it.
nice nod to the prequels episode 2, Attack of the Clones, where R2 used his little rockets there too, right? So
Right? Yep.
yeah, yeah. R5D4 is getting the love
And
that
to
he
get away from
deserves.
the mouse droids. And
Yeah.
to top it off, getting
Oh, it
away
was
from the little
great.
mouse
Like
droids. That was awesome.
R5D4 is getting all the love this season.
For
Like,
sure. Much
you know,
deserved.
he missed out on all that action in the prequel or in the original trilogy there, but you know, he's getting all this love and all this action in the show, so it's awesome.
Yeah, Harry's a
Uh,
rebel spy hanging out with the
yeah, right.
Mandalorians.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
my next one, I went with the Mandalorian with the staff and the shield there after he took down those troopers, those super commandos, I guess is what we've been calling them lately, because that's what they remind me of.
Yep.
But I figure, you know what, they're gonna do a Mandalorian holding something. They're probably even like two or three of the Mandalorian character Din Djarin holding something. So this was a cool one. Like I'm I'm picturing, do the chrome finish like they did with the one where he's holding the dark saber, and this one's gonna be a hot seller.
Yes. Yeah. So some of that nice purple acrylic on the end of the
Yeah,
taser
yeah.
on.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's gonna look cool.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you got to have that. So my third pick, I went with Bo Katan flying with the jetpack and the dark saber. So again, like another flying pop. Like we keep saying, there are some of the better pops.
Love that too. What a pose. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Love
Um.
that.
So my fourth,
And have it fly horizontally with some acrylic. They don't
yeah,
have to
I
even
know, because
like
yeah, you can have
like the
you can
Superman
have that
ones, right?
acrylic
The
underneath.
Superman
Yeah,
and Lois.
yeah, where they have the acrylic underneath them to support them up in the air. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that was so killer.
Yeah, why not? They're doing the Vader lying down, so they can do the flying horizontal for these guys. That'd be awesome. So yeah, my next pick is again another flying pop. The armor
Armor.
with her hammer and her little pliers there, whatever they are.
Yep.
She was really kicking some ass there.
I thought so. I think she had to because everyone was so sus of her from the
Yeah,
last episode. Just the fact everyone. I think just the title threw everybody off. They should have named it something else because everybody was thinking we had one spy, one confirmed spy, nobody else apparently.
yeah,
So I thought it was great that she wasn't because
yeah. I'm
it's kind of
happy. I'm happy there were actually no other spies. So actually, I was watching Star Wars Explained YouTube channel, and he was saying that it had something to do with like the I want to say it was with like the Bible or something, or something historical, where like there were 12 uh, I don't know, 12 people who went back to their homeland or hometown, and they were spies in their own town trying to take back their land or whatever. So it
Oh,
a reference to that, I guess. Uh,
oh, okay.
yeah. So rounding out my top five, I went with Marshall IG-11.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good call.
So Patrick, what do you have for your top five?
All right. So my first one is, as we talked about earlier, was we've been calling it the Imperial Super Commando, and I
Yes.
had him with the baton and the shield as well.
Yeah.
Um, I thought the scene was awesome, awesome. It
Oh
was
yeah.
like out of a video game, right? Like
Yeah.
leveling up, like wait each time is like okay, next,
Yeah. A
bam,
better
like
weapon.
kick some
Yep.
butt, next. And he went in with no weapons, so each time he went through, he had to gain the weapons from the guy before. Loved it,
Yeah. I
loved
loved
it.
it.
So
Yeah. And it's
100%.
it's very much like episode one where Darth Maul was fighting
Teasing him,
Obi-Wan
waiting
and
behind
Qui-Gon.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was there was a I love the pacing of this and the tension it built was
Yeah.
well done. Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
So my next one, um, again, you, brothers alike and kin. I chose Bo Katan flying as well.
Yeah.
Um, I Your pose I liked as well. I wasn't sure. I liked that almost as one of the screenshot of that. But I went with one of her holding it outward, kind of leading the charge. Thought that was
Yeah.
really cool. And again, I'd like to see something like this where you kind of have it, horizontal, a little maybe on an angle.
Yeah.
The
Like
jet,
you said, like
the
the
jetpack
Superman and
going.
Lois one that they did.
Yeah, do something really cool because this was such a cool moment to see. Like a dogfight live action of Mandalorians and Super Commandos fighting it out. Like that was crazy. That
Oh,
was
it
off
was
the hook.
fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I loved it. So very similar to you. There is quite a little bit of a theme, right? So the
I think
next
so.
one I chose was the Armorer. Correct. I This was awesome. Loved her with her hammer and her pliers or whatnot out there, just kicking ass. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. So
Absolutely.
I'd love to get another one of this. And I, for one, would love to see again the acrylic with the flames coming out of the jetpack or something. It'd be so good.
Yeah.
And this one, if you did a vertical one, because there's a really great pose where she like, was rearing up the hammer and she had the pliers kind of defending. It was such a great pose. Like I would love to see that like vertically done. Ah, awesome. Loved
Yeah.
it. Um, my next one, my fourth, I had to go with none other than Moff Gideon. This time, not only with he sporting his Beskar in his helmet, but with his double bladed staff. I thought
Yes.
that was cool.
That was cool.
I for sure can see this as one. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to give us at least one Moff Gideon, and if you're gonna do one with his armor, give us a staff too.
Yeah,
That
right.
that
If you're
purple
gonna do
acrylic.
one where it's Gideon by himself and he doesn't, and then you have like where it's armor, full helmet, and there's a chase or whatnot with or without the helmet. But if you're gonna give us one of him, give us this one.
Yeah,
That's
for
the way I
sure.
look at
Yeah, you know what?
it.
I'd even
I
take like
love that.
a movie moment or TV moment with Moff Gideon facing off against Bo Katan with the dark saber.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
That would be really
how
great.
cool would that be?
Really good.
Yeah,
Yeah, take my money. That's how cool because that was a great moment. I think that there's been such a great buildup for that moment to happen, and we finally
yeah,
got it. Like
yeah,
I'll be honest, I don't think we would have been as happy or have been wanting some of those pops if we didn't see that scene. Right, that didn't
yeah,
happen. So, um, So to round out my last one, I wanted the Praetorian. I loved the Praetorian Guard. I thought they again played a really cool pivotal scene.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely. And this time they showed off their weapons that changed. Like the one guy had the rope that wrapped around, and the other one had the one that split in two. And
yes,
this time you
yes, so
actually
that
got to
was
see
kind of
that.
cool. And I really wanted to kind of have the reason I like this kind of this scene particular or this image is because I really wanted to have seeing that we could do some different things. I would love to have like Grogu looking up maybe in a piece of the IG-12 and have the Praetorian kind of like a movie moment really for that one,
Yeah,
not just the Praetorian, but the Praetorian coming down like at him and he's kind of like, hold on, using the force. Because in the scene, like I love the Praetorian guards, and I thought it was funny with him kind of like laughing as he's running through the scaffolding above them.
yeah,
I
that
thought
was
that was
great.
a really funny scene. That was awesome. Just kind of
Yeah,
mocking them almost like. So I loved it. This had to be such a good finale. Like we were saying, was it better than season two? I don't know, but we got some great season two pops right from that finale. We
yeah.
got the Luke Skywalker with the black hood and the green lightsaber out.
And then the other
So
Luke Skywalker with him holding Grogu. You got Din Djarin holding Grogu. You got Din Djarin with the lightsaber or the dark saber. Yeah, you got
yeah,
some great ones.
so
Um,
I really think that we're with this finale. I could see a lot of these coming to fruition.
yeah.
This is a
So
great finale.
it was
Really ended
actually
a
kind
lot
of
of
tough for
storyline.
me. It was tough for me to pick my top five for this one. So I actually threw in just a bonus one of Casca Reeves with the jetpack.
Ah, see, if I had a bonus, it would have been a movie moment, and I think it's the movie moment of the episode. I would love a movie moment. We've got Bo Katan with her shield out, and you got Din Djarin crouched down right next to, like they're both crouched down next to her, and you get Grogu scaled with the two of them, and you
Yeah,
got like the flames kind of like they're about to arch over them. That'd be
yeah.
awesome,
How awesome would that look?
awesome, right?
Yeah,
Take take our money.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
for sure.
Maybe I gotta get 3D printers, start making some of these ideas,
Yeah, for sure.
right?
Yeah,
Work with some 3D printer guys. I don't know, man.
that'd be great. So that
It
pretty
would be
much
fun.
wraps things up for our top five. So let's jump into our conversation with Fish from the K Dog and Fish YouTube channel.
I speak.
The ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
All right, so today on the show we have Fish from K Dog and Fish, the YouTube channel. Fish, thank you for coming on the channel.
Woo! Thank you
Yeah,
so much for
welcome.
having me. Appreciate it.
So why don't you start out and tell everyone what you guys are all about, how you guys came to be,
Sure.
you and K Dog came to be K Dog and Fish.
Yeah, we are super into Funko and started collecting about 4 or 5 years ago now. And got really into it. Actually, K Dog was first. He started finding them mostly Star Wars, which I appreciate you guys for having me because you love Star Wars. Um,
Yep.
and
Big time.
yeah, got me a blue box Boba Fett, and then and as a birthday present. And then I was like, "What is this? I am in." I started
You're
collecting a
hooked.
little bit. Yeah, I think I got like the first wave of Stranger Things and tons of Star Wars, and then he got me. He had the, I don't know if you guys remember the Smuggler's Bounty
Yes.
Love the
subscription
Smuggler
box
Bounty.
that was
Yep.
done through Amazon, and you could even do it through Amazon Canada back then, not now, but they had a Smuggler's Bounty Han Solo on Tauntaun, which I actually have
Yes.
above me right there.
Nice.
um, yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
there you
Yeah.
go.
So I after that, which is my favorite, I love Han Solo. I love Empire is my favorite movie. So I was even more hooked after that. And then it was about 20. I'd say all of 2018, we were like, why is nobody doing this in Canada? At the time,
Right.
Of course, there's a wall of one, a couple shelves at EB Games, which is now converted to GameStop US, like Canada. Um,
Yeah.
and then maybe at Hot Topic or Amazon, but that was it. Like maybe some local toy stores or comic book shops that have this little bit of Funko, but nobody was
Yeah.
catering to 1,000% Funko only as a retailer in Canada. And I think
Yeah.
the
And you'd
biggest
go into Toys R
decision
Us and you'd see a wall, maybe if that.
back then, not as much. Like now,
Yeah.
they're
Now.
deep, but not back
Yeah.
then. Not in
Not back then.
2017,
Okay.
2018. So, and at that time, Toys R Us US was closing back
Yeah.
then as
Yeah, we
well.
don't have
So
any. We don't have
it
any.
was really kind of up in the air, and I think our most frustrating part was that at these big box retailers that carried Funko, they didn't know anything about Funko. They didn't really care about it because that wasn't their main source of business. They just happened to have
Right.
it as an accessory. So, the video game store doesn't really care the about people's Funko needs. And then if you
Yeah.
called Hot Topic, which there's one about an hour from where I live, so I would call, and their company policy is to not discuss Funko over the phone. We won't. And so to me, that was crazy. Like, who's helping collectors? Like, I'm not going to drive an hour. I asked if you had it on the shelf. I'm not asking you to hold it. I don't want special favors. I just want you to
No.
tell me if I drive it. I at least have a chance if I drive an hour. Yes, we have 12 on the shelf. Like, just tell me. And their company policy denied me that knowledge. And I'm like, there has to be better customer service, somebody who's catering more to Funko collectors. So we
Yeah.
decided
Yep.
to open a shop. Now, happen to be where we live is a very high tourist traffic, especially May to October, in Muskoka, Ontario, which is 2 hours north. We're in Bracebridge is the name of the town. There are many
Okay.
towns around in the Muskoka area, but we're 2 hours direct north from Toronto. So all the cottagers, the Maple Leafs, everybody has
Yeah.
a Muskoka
Yeah.
cottage if you're in Toronto.
Every May long weekend, then you guys get busy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
May to Thanksgiving, it's bananas. So we're like, okay, we're in a high tourist traffic area. It's a destination store for collectors, and you want to call me and ask me if I have something, I'll tell you, and I will hold it or get it for
No,
you. Like, it's about helping our community in Canada, which was severely lacking. So that's how it kind of
Yeah.
all started. And we opened our doors. We launched our website because we figured nobody's doing that either for Funko in Canada at that time. Nobody was doing it. So we launched our
Yeah.
website in
Yeah. So you guys
March.
were pioneers, really.
Yeah, so we started the website in March of 2019, and then we opened our doors May long weekend, and it took us over a year to get enough inventory because the Funko releases are so at that time. Now there's like they do almost every week, but back then it was weeks before there were drops, and you'd only be able to get like this only a couple
Yeah.
are released. So we were stockpiling Funko for
I saw
18
like a video like
months.
18 months, something like 18 months or
Yeah,
something. You guys have saved them. That's
just kept
crazy.
putting it in
Yeah.
our garage, putting it in the basement, like just storing and storing and storing until we had enough. We're like, okay, we can open the doors. So it took a while, but to get the inventory, and then we were pretty much set up from there. So we're actually celebrating our 4-year anniversary this coming May long weekend next month.
Nice, congratulations.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, congrats. So you mentioned you would hold a Funko Pop for somebody who called. So like if I called being in Edmonton and I
Anyway,
hopped on a plane, would you hold it till I got there?
you got it. You want it? I'll ship it to you. Like
Awesome.
the fact that nobody would help you. Like, I'm not asking for a
Yeah, it's
favor. I'm not like hey Greg, put it in the back room for me. I just want you to tell me you physically have it, and your customer service sucks. So we opened our own Funko Pop store.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. So we have a couple questions that we ask all of our guests who come on the Popcast here. So the first, I think you probably mentioned it. Your favorite Funko. What is your favorite one that you own? The favorite Star Wars Funko.
Man,
That's a tough one.
Is it that
that's
Han
tough.
Solo?
I love that Han Solo on Tauntaun is right up there. I'm also a
Yeah.
huge Marvel fan, so I have a bunch of this Tony Starks. I got a bunch of Iron Mans in here, and then I would say my biggest part of my collection is Star Wars and Marvel. I love Marvel, but
Nice.
Star Wars was my first love. You know, Marvel, the MCU didn't come out until 2008, so I've been a Star Wars OG fan for a long time, and I even have just over here 1977 to 1983 Kenner toys. So I was collecting those.
Nice.
Even way back before Funko, that was my collection. Was Kenner Star Wars toys. I actually just got a dewback, which had
Oh,
eluded
very cool.
my collection. So from the Kenner stuff, but oh man, I love the. You guys seen the new die cast figures?
Yes.
They're heavy. They're made of like very heavy metal, and they have a clear case. The Darth Vader in that one is pretty sick.
Now, let me ask you, Fish, are you a fan of when it's painted or the chase where it's just
Painted.
raw? Okay. I'm a fan of the common in the die cast where they're all painted
Right?
up. Personally,
It's
I don't know why you'd want
Yeah.
the chase where it doesn't have all that detail and paint to it.
I
don't know.
wish that the chase on a die cast was a different variant, like a pop. So it's a different outfit or a different
Different
color,
pose.
different pose. I don't like that the chase on the die cast is just pure metal.
Yeah, and it seems that quite a bit of people enjoy that over the common painted. I personally, when I always order it, I just want I order one and I'm praying I get the common. I that's the only, I don't know. Especially they
agree.
only have that right now, and both of them to me they just look so much better when they're painted up. But I have them both, and they are
I
nice
agree.
looking.
I also it's hard to say like my favorite because I have probably over 400.
Oh yeah, it's tough
here, so I that's tough, but definitely Star Wars. I've got an over here Obi-Wan, really like an older Obi-Wan.
Okay, yeah. Is it
yeah,
a blue box?
No, I think it is a black box, but it is the Smuggler's Bounty.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And yeah, I have. It's hard for me to pick a favorite. Just I would say my favorite is the fact that I pretty much anything Star Wars and Marvel. Those are like my favorite pops. Whether it's like it's hard to. I actually no wait. I'm lying. There's one. My favorite pop in my collection is my blue crystal meth Heisenberg from the 2015 San Diego Comic-Con. That is sick. It is so
awesome.
cool. And it's a very spicy meatball, as we say in the K-Dog and Fish community. It's a very expensive pop. I was lucky enough to get it for a birthday present. The person told me they got it for really cheap, and I was super excited about it. So
That's cool.
I love that pop. I'm actually going to try and convince my wife because I haven't watched Breaking Bad since it was on and finished it, obviously. So I want to rewatch it, and I want to introduce it to my wife, and she's never seen it, and it's something I want to do is go back to some Breaking Bad.
Have you started Better Call Saul yet?
Oh yeah. I think I'm about. It was pre-COVID. I was at season 4. Excuse me. Season 4, and I got to watch the last 2 seasons, I think, but I
Yeah.
got to finish it. But I love Better Call Saul too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say if
Nice.
you enjoyed the one, you're gonna enjoy this
Oh,
one too.
it's so good. It's so
It is.
smart and tense, and be able to give you drama and probably the best word is tension without a lot of words. There's so much feeling infused that you're just on the edge of your seat, even though it's something that would be, if you were to read it, would be so mundane.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's so
I
good.
agree.
So it's top one of the top TV series of all time, Breaking Bad. And Better Call Saul is really
100%.
good too. So.
I was mentioning recently that you can see a lot of Gustav Fring, what he brought in when you see that kind of switch into the character, and there's little things that I saw in the Mando that reminded me a lot of the recent Breaking Bad, the Breaking Bad in recent
He
episodes. Like,
plays a bad
Yeah.
yes,
guy,
no,
man.
yeah, the yes,
He's a
no
good bad
reminded
guy.
me of the dinging of the bell from the the old man in the wheelchair in the home,
Yeah.
and then when he finally met his demise there, and Grogu was saving him, that totally reminded me of the nursing home blowing up. So I was like, oh, that's so cool. So cool.
I would not surprise me as like Jon Favreau, who wrote that episode, and Dave Filoni, who's one of the showrunners. They're huge fanboys of pop culture regardless. It would not shock
Yeah.
me one bit. And that's actually brings me to a Star Wars point, is the opening scene for the Book of Boba Fett spinoff is exactly how Patton Oswalt described it in the cold open to an episode of
Yes.
Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guarantee you they are nerds. They're
They
fun.
heard it.
They're-
They saw
they
it.
know.
Referenced
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
And they actually shot it. I bet you they had this fun writers meeting, and they were like, "Let's shoot that exactly how Patton Oswalt described it in Parks
I
and
would
Rec."
not be surprised at all. I think you're 100% right. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
and
So-
Giancarlo Esposito is going to be at Niagara Falls Comic Con in June,
Awesome.
and it's the only Comic Con that K-Dog and Fish has a booth that we go to, that we have time for, because Fan Expo and some other cons take place during summer, and we just can't with Muskoka
Yeah.
and tourism and traffic. So we do the Niagara Falls Comic Con. We did it last year, and this year Giancarlo Esposito is going to be there. And I'm bringing my glow in the dark Moff Gideon from the T-shirt box, the Target box.
Yes, getting the
Exclusive.
autograph.
I'm bringing it. I'm getting it signed. It's going right on the shelf.
Awesome.
Nice.
Now you mentioned you have over 400 Funko Pops. Do you know roughly how many of them are Star Wars? Would you say like half of them, a quarter?
I would say at least a third. I would say like
Oh, wow.
it's 1/3 Star Wars, 1/3 Marvel, and the other third is very
Random. Yeah.
Yes, a lot of Stranger Things, Simpsons, and then I love I'm a huge comedy lover, so I have almost every Will Ferrell pop. So I have the entire Anchorman set from San Diego Comic-Con. I have all 5. I have all the Talladega Nights pops, the Step Brothers pops, and even more Cowbell Funko Pop from SNL.
No way.
Oh, I
That's
have
crazy.
the cheerleaders and the Butabi brothers.
Oh,
Will Ferrell from Night at the Roxbury. So
Yeah.
I try and collect a lot of. The only thing that I'm pissed about is I need a Frank the Tank from Old School Funko Pop. I don't know why they
Yeah.
never did Old School. At least the 3 guys do. The other Luke Wilson, Vince Vaughn, and Will Ferrell as Frank the Tank. And then
Yes.
a semi-pro Jackie Moon Funko Pop. That's the only one you need from semi-pro, with the afro and the Tropics jersey. I would want a semi-pro Funko Pop. That is like,
Oh, that's a great one.
I would love that if they did it.
That's a great one. So you had mentioned, how you did the one of your first Star Wars Funko Pops was, introduced through the Smuggler's Bounty. Was there more of any others from that Smuggler's Bounty that you liked, or Was there,
Yeah.
more of that line that you'd like to see continued? Kind of like, would you like to even see it return?
Yeah, I would love to see it back because I would subscribe. Like if I knew I was getting a brand new Star Wars pop and I didn't know what it was and it just came once a month, I'd be
Yeah.
all over that.
Yeah.
Especially with everything, all the Star Wars projects that we're getting now. Why not have Smuggler's Bounty? The one that I don't have that K Dog does, and I'm super jealous, is Luke in the Land Speeder. Smuggler's Bounty pop ride.
Oh,
That is,
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good one
I
too.
have that. The one that
it's
I didn't
nice.
get. Yeah, see, what happened is by the time I saw it, and it was kind of like the way how I got into it was, I was the one guy at work that didn't have any tchotchke things at his desk. It was just all business, and so I was like, you know what? Yeah, what do you want for your birthday? I'll do something like that. And so I missed the first box by the time it arrived. My subscription started, and it ended right before the last one. I didn't realize it, so I'm thinking I'm getting the Anakin Mustafar fight with Obi-Wan, and
Yeah.
I'm like seeing everyone get their box, and I'm like, I didn't get my box. They're like, oh, your subscription, and I'm like, why didn't I get a notice, man? Like, come on.
Tell me.
You think I was gonna miss out on the very last one of my subscription, which
Uh,
happened to be the last one that they did? Come on.
Yeah.
I was so pissed.
I also, I don't know if you guys remember, but 2017, 2018, Walmart did Moments. And there was the trash
Yes,
compactor
Moments.
scene and all those, right? My favorite is the Han and Greedo one. I have it down here.
Oh,
and
nice.
It is
in the cantina there, right? Yeah.
the cantina. I love that moment. That is one of my favorite Star Wars.
That's one I want to get.
pops.
I love that one.
It is absolutely cool. Yeah, I do love that one.
So do you have any plans to pick up any of the upcoming movie moments from Return of the Jedi? Like, because there's that Jabba the Hutt with the Salacious Crumb, and then there's the Vader versus Luke that you can put the Emperor at the back. Like, that's
right at the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be a Hot Topic exclusive, the Emperor, and it'll be on throne and it'll fit right back there. So I'm gonna get all three.
Yeah.
And then I have to get the Jabba on his throne with Salacious Crumb because I have that exact thing from the 1983 Kenner. It is the coolest, probably I'd say beside my at from Empire, from the Kenner toys. The Jabba with his what is it? Hookah?
His pipe.
That's what I call it.
His big
pipe.
Yeah.
So that with his throne on there, and it's got all the features on the front, and it's got Salacious Crumb, and I also got, and I'm blanking on his name now, the guy with the thing that wraps around his neck from
Bib Fortuna.
Bib Fortuna. That's right.
Bib Fortuna. Yeah.
So I have that Kenner as well, and it's right. I have him standing on the throne part at the end near the tail. Plus, I have the Gamorrean Guard. Or sorry, not the Gamorrean Guard. The Rancor Keeper. So I have the Rancor Keeper in the old Kenner one, and I have that with the Jabba as well. So I have to get the Funko Pop version of that, 1,000%. Yeah, I actually love all these Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary pops.
Yeah,
especially an updated version of the unmasked Vader, where he's actually laying down as Luke had taken off his mask and not standing up vertical.
Yeah, that one's a game changer for Star Wars Funko Pops, because they've done other Funko Pops in other lineups where they're laying down, or Patrick, I think you mentioned one where like the character was crawling, like it was a zombie one that was crawling.
Yeah, like one of the Walking Dead ones. They actually
I've seen that
bicycle zombie with the female zombie crawling. And like you said on one of our earlier episodes, Chris, is that it was so unique to see it lying down, because we haven't had that in the Star Wars IP of Funko Pops yet. So great. Now we're kind of expanding, and I think the sculpts look 100 times better.
Way better.
They're not just like they're not all like the chunky, we're getting away from that hero pose. Yes. We're getting away from the knuckle dragging. And they're not just, the kind of like the old Kenner or Hasbro, the Power of the Force, where they're like, wrestling versions, the WWE
Yeah.
version
Yeah.
of some, of Star Wars. So they're getting away from that, and they're getting a lot more tailored. The textures and the layers, and I mean, I just think they're getting so much better. So this Return of the Jedi line is going to be phenomenal. I think.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Really,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping with some new Mandalorian ones, like I'd really like to get another armor that just looks a little more badass than the last one. That would be awesome.
I also predict from that finale, you're going to get those jetpack troopers. You're going to get Moff Gideon with his whole suit, and then a chase with the helmet on.
Yeah.
You're also going to get, and I guarantee you, they have not announced this. I'm just speculating because I've been doing Funko retail for 4 years now. So I 1,000% guarantee you're going to see Grogu inside of an IG-12. That is going to happen.
100%.
1,000%. It'll be him inside. Yeah, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. We agree. And what's funny, Fish, is we do our top 5 from each episode, and we were just talking. That's exactly what or a bunch of the ones that we're thinking of probably are. Those main ones.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
I know. I really want to see an armorer because I like how they do their acrylic base with the flames and everything. So I'd like to see like an armor one with her, with the hammer and her other little wrench, like ratchet up. Like a really cool pose. I mean, because they were fighting mid-air with the jetpacks. Like, let's do it.
Yeah, anything with a jetpack.
And we will get...
anything with a jetpack, I'm sold
on. Ahsoka pops in August, I would imagine. So, and we'll get our... I think it's Grand Admiral Thrawn would be a really cool pop. So
they only released the one, and it's an exclusive. And let's face it, the price has shot up since that Ahsoka trailer. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I think you could get it for like $90 now. It's like over 300. I'm seeing US.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Is that one that you have in your collection at all?
I do not have Thrawn. I wish I did.
Yeah,
my favorite from like Clone Wars and stuff. I love my Cad Bane. I have my Cad Bane pop that I adore. I love Cad Bane.
Yeah, he's pretty badass looking.
Yeah. Especially the new one from the Book of Boba. That one's really awesome too.
That's a good one.
That one's cool. I still like the original one because I like the
original one.
The
Clone Wars. The wider hat. Yeah,
that brimmed hat just, I don't know. It just had that more Clint Eastwood look to it than the newer one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt that he was really themed after that, so it was just fitting.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So with the go ahead, Patrick.
No, go on, Chris. Go on.
Oh, I was just gonna ask because you mentioned the Ahsoka pops that hopefully we'll get in August, but looking at like stuff like the Book of Boba Fett and even like the Mandalorian Season 3, we haven't seen any Funko Pops from the Mandalorian Season 3. The Book of Boba Fett, we had the 2 commons for like over a year until we got the exclusives. So is that something you think they're actually going to be on top of this time, or do you think they're going to be slacking again?
Yeah. I sometimes it bothers me, these like sometimes they're on it. Like we got the Flash movie pops now, and the movie's right away in June.
Yeah.
So sometimes they're way ahead of the game, and sometimes it's like, why did you wait a year to get us Wave 2 from Book of Boba Fett? Like it doesn't.
Yeah.
Or some pops are just. I hope that they're on it, and they're able to get us at least Wave 1 of Ahsoka sometime in the summer when the show's launching. I hope so.
Yeah. I hope so too.
It does frustrate sometimes from a collector and as a retailer that sometimes they'll even announce stuff and we're like, oh, that's cool, and we pre-order it, and then it doesn't actually show up. Like Funko will announce that these are being made and actually give you like pre-orders, but then they don't give you any timeline to when they'll be released, and then by the time they ship them, and you've already pre-ordered them, so you're stuck with them. That property has already been out. Like a perfect example, Bob's Burgers movie. That was last April it was last spring. So absolutely bothers me that they came a year later when the movies are nobody cares anymore. Like people are fans.
You lost that pulse. You had
The
your
hype,
finger on the
right?
pulse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that bothers
Missed
me.
marketing opportunity.
Huge.
Yeah.
Now there's fans of the movie who are like, "Oh, I liked that, so I'll get it." But you got to go with you got to be on top of the hype for sure. Like
I feel that they kind of miss on that.
Yeah.
Even with the Star Wars, I mean, with that brand and IP, I mean, there's so many announcements of what's coming up, what's to be expected. We have dates, and I know working at Hasbro as a private contractor, there's things you can't talk about. You know, you're shooting them and they're doing the packaging for them, and then you have to wait till set dates to release and all that.
Yeah.
And there's NDAs and all that. Got you, but like even to that extent, they know kind of what are the lead characters that they're gonna pivotal ones they're gonna want to produce some toys for and things like that. And if you miss the market, like let's face it, how much money did Disney and Lucasfilm lose to not having told anybody about Grogu because they had to really keep that tight lip? Think about how many Etsy and other little 3D printer guys, they all made bank because they had nothing. So there was a lot of revenue lost to them. And now, I would think like learning from that, Funko and Hasbro and all that, okay, they have a little bit of a leading line. But the fact that like I feel that you see them advertised and by the time they're released is to your point, Fish, is that it's such a huge window gap. It takes the excitement and the fun. And I think as you're watching the show currently on air and can go out and purchase that character as a pop, I think there's more value and there's more sales in that and marketing than 2-3 months after it's already aired and no one's watching.
Totally agree.
You've lost the luster and the wonder of it all.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that happens.
I don't know where the gap is, whether it's a lack of information that they're not allowed to have or production delays, but it's extreme. You're not capitalizing on it the way that you should. And
I think it's a little bit of both because I know you would get, when I was at the one company, you'd get like a backdrop, right? Lucasfilm or whatnot sends you backdrop, and there's X amount of backdrops that they sent because there's already been conference room discussions about what product lines are coming, what characters, vehicles, play sets. So it's all kind of thought out. So by the time you're shooting that stuff, it might be months off or, it's not too far out, when they're doing it. So you kind of shoot it and it's, off the, for a while. I know when I was there, I shot a lot of Iron Patriot, Iron Man, that move, Iron Man 3, I think it was 2 or 3. I shot so much stuff of that. It was crazy. And a lot of it was like for the younger kids stuff. So by the time it came out, I was already tired of seeing that character because I had seen so many damn renditions and photographed in so many damn ways. So to me, that's why I feel like there's something lacking there because in that studio and atmosphere and the relationship they have with Lucasfilm and all that, there is a little bit of a share, and then they have timed releases because they obviously know it takes time to produce it, get your packaging actually printed to put you on the boxes or the the pegs, the cards and stuff. So I just don't, I believe it to a certain point, but I also call BS on that because I just think they're really missing the marketing of having it out in the fans and the collectors' hands at the time when it's relevant. They're missing that piece.
I totally
agree. A month out wouldn't be bad, right? I don't think anyone would cry about being a month out, but we're talking like it's months
or a year. I've seen it as a retailer,
and they were on top of it.
Odd.
They've been on top of it in the past with the season 1 of Mando. They had the first wave before the season started. But now, like shows like Andor, we got what 3 exclusives, no commons yet. So
Yeah.
I was a little
it's mind
disappointed with,
boggling for
I
sure.
thought we'd get a lot more characters with Book of Boba Fett, than they did. You have a second line come out and
Yeah,
you still missed quite a few characters. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where
yeah,
they're getting the inspiration, how the marketing is on that. And I think it's improving, you know, just like the sculpts and stuff like that. I think they're starting to kind of maybe get that, because the fact that they went to Celebration this year and weren't just a shop, but had something to kind of launch about, that at
Yeah.
least they're starting to turn the corner. But that leads me into the other question I have for you, Fish, is what did you think about this
yeah.
year's lack of hype and lack of Star Wars Celebration exclusive Funkos?
There was 2. There was
Yeah.
Jar Jar and
There
a
was 2.
R2 R5 2-pack. That was it. That
I,
was it. I got
Yeah,
both,
that was
but
it.
that
yep,
was
I
it.
do too.
That was it.
Very,
I
very
Yeah.
lackluster, in my opinion.
Lackluster. Yeah, lackluster is a great word. Yeah.
Originally, I thought maybe because it was overseas, maybe they didn't have the resources and stuff like that. But they had an overseas celebration in what, like 2016, I think it was, and they had like
Yeah.
Yep.
6 or 8 Funko Pops, exclusives Funko Pops for that year that they were in the UK last time. So it's not because of that. So it's just
I
bad.
couldn't tell you. I
Yeah,
was shocked. I actually thought they were gonna the 2 were a sneak peek and that we were gonna get a
yeah,
bunch more. And then we didn't.
yeah. That's what I thought.
So
No,
yeah, I have
I mean
no idea.
we got the announcement of the Biddy Pops, the Star Wars Biddy Pops, which
Yeah.
they do look kind of cool. I think I'll get those.
I actually,
And then there was
yeah, I actually think
that
those are going to
Funko
be cool.
game,
I was really
but
on the fence about biddies, and then I was like, I don't know. I like them now.
yeah.
See, I don't know
Do you
about
have
you,
any of
Chris.
them in your store at all?
No, not yet. The Canadian
Not yet.
distributor has not offered any itty bitties yet. And to be 1,000% transparent with you guys, we actually just launched a video this morning on our YouTube channel how we are, as a retailer, we're making a lot of changes because of things that are going on with Pop in a
Big
Box,
Apple.
with Big Apple. We actually did a big video
Yeah,
about it, and we were super honest with everybody. And the Canadian Funko distributor is really bad at what they do. And we've actually started to cut ties with them completely. And we'll be focusing more on bringing things in from the US in a more timely fashion and doing less commons and more exclusives, convention exclusives, and buying collections of more rare Funko Pops than trying to get every single common that comes out, because there's just too many SKUs and not enough people care enough, to be honest. Like, there are
yeah,
fans for everything, but when you do like perfect example, the Shazam pops for the new sequel, Fury of the Gods. We only ordered Shazam. There are 6 or 7 other characters. We didn't even bother. This is before we cut ties with the Canadian distributor, because it's just, and the worst part, as a pre-order, sometimes the Funko doesn't give that information, so the Canadian distributor will post the pre-orders with no pictures and no text other than Shazam Pop 1, Shazam Pop 2, all the way to Shazam Pop 7. No images, no names of characters, nothing. And we're expected to order them blind and stuck with whatever we pre-order. They will not take, like, hey, these, when the glams
How is that
finally get,
possible? How do you
exactly.
purchase things? How do you purchase things without even getting a look? I mean, Jesus
Yeah.
H Christ! Even in
Yeah.
fashion, they have lookbooks for the
Yeah.
buyers to buy stuff. Like,
yeah,
if I want to buy
Yeah.
this sweatshirt, this shirt, before it hits Galaxy's Edge or something like that, there's a lookbook for the buyers. Like, oh, these designers have this. Oh, I want that. I want 1,000 pieces of this garment. How the hell do you do that with
It's
a Funko Pop, a
really,
collect?
it was tough. So we were stuck with a
God,
lot of stuff we didn't want, because we were like, well, And then the movie didn't do very well on top of that. So we were actually super happy that
Yeah.
we kind of started making that move recently, probably over the last 4 or 5 months. I'd say after Christmas. We started making this lateral move to be like, okay, we pre-ordered Pop 1 assuming it was Shazam. And we were right. We got Shazam and they sold. That's great. Came with a chase. But even since then, it's just been such a hard like we actually cut off pre-orders last year because of Letterkenny. Disney Ultimate Princess Wave 2 took 18 months and people pre-ordered them from our website going, where's my Funko Pop, or give me my money back. So we stopped
Yeah.
doing pre-orders altogether, and it's not our fault. It's because of Funko and their relationship with the Canadian distributor, and there is only one in Canada. So we were just sick of their BS, to be honest. So we're still
Yeah.
hardcore into Funko. I'd rather get this many commons, the really, really cool ones like Indiana Jones anniversary pops. Those are all sick. We're getting those. The Michael Jackson pops that are coming out. But we're not going to get every single brand new common anymore. And the commons that we do think are cool, that we think our fans will like, we are bringing in from a U.S. distributor. And we're not going to be using the Canadian distributor anymore. It's just so frustrating. Anyway, we did a whole video about it on our channel because this is probably
I did watch it.
the whole reason why like Pop in a Box is not even
Yeah.
going to carry Funko
Wow.
anymore when your name is Pop in a Box. Like something's going on, and I think that they're dealing with the same things that a lot of Funko retailers are dealing with. Now, Big Apple might be a little bit more of a shady business practice sort of thing than Funko really having a hand in why they're out of business, but it's super eye-opening that we're not the only Funko retailers that are dealing with this
Yeah.
crap, and we'd rather keep it about fun, keep it about our community, keep having a good time, and offering really cool old vaulted stuff. And then we just uploaded a crap ton of WonderCon exclusives to the website instead of like, here are 7 or 8 different variants from commons from this one product. So we're kind of switching gears a little bit, but still being all about Funko. We're just making it a lot more of a necessity for Canadian can go to Toys R Us and get a common pop, but are you going to get this WonderCon exclusive, like the baseball Freddies, or we're bringing that kind of stuff in, and that's what we're still gonna do, the really cool commons. We're just sick of the garbage to deal with the Canadian distributors.
Fish, I did see your video where you talked about the story of trying to be the exclusive, a shared exclusive for the WonderCon.
That was super frustrating.
Right. And it sounded so cool. And I know Chris and I, if that was us in K Dog and Fish's shoes, like we'd be super excited and ecstatic about it too, and be like, woo! So they have that just kind of be a total downward slide, even in the fact that then you're on the hook. Like, hey, do you want these? No,
we told them to jog on. So I'm going to be even
I'll go
into
100%
more detail with you guys. So they told us this is before they got released. It was the mechanized Marvel, and we were like, oh, that sounds cool. Marvel mech, right?
Oh,
yeah, that sounds cool.
There was a Venom Marvel mech, and we were like, and that's going to be the WonderCon exclusive, and K-Dog and Fish will be the shared Canadian retailer for it. We're like, sign us up.
Awesome character, right? Nice.
Then there's zero communication from them at all. We met the minimum and then some. We actually ordered 5,000 units. We're like, let's do it. If we're going to be the guys and we're going to have a shared Canadian retailer exclusive. So when Funko posts the shared retailers for Canada, with Toys R Us and with EB Games, it'll be say K-Dog and Fish, and we're gonna get that exposure as well. And we were so happy about it. And then the lack of communication and BS that came. I don't know if I could swear on your podcast. I usually swear a lot, and our editor beeps it. But
It's okay. I swear like a sailor. I went to Catholic school. I got out on early release.
so the BS that we had to deal with was so over the top. And they're like, well, we have to talk to the brand manager. I'm like, can we talk to the brand manager? No, you're not allowed to talk to the brand manager. This is the Canadian distributor. They're like, do we have confirmation that we're going to be on the shared retailer list? I can't tell you that. Okay. And then WonderCon happened and they still wouldn't tell us anything. And that Venom Mech was not on the release.
Wasn't on the list.
And we were like, so we contacted him after and go, hey, we saw that this is not even on there. Oh, sorry, that got switched to being a Walmart exclusive, not a WonderCon exclusive. And we're like, well, if it's not a WonderCon, like we're not gonna take it. And he basically ignored our emails. And then when they actually did come in, said, here's a bill for 5,000 units of this IE sticker. Do you guys know the IE sticker? The international exclusive sticker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was the old one, not the cool looking new one. The old international exclusive sticker.
Oh, the old red and silver one. Yeah.
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 So that sticker on the Walmart, so it was a shared IE exclusive Walmart Venom mech, and tried to give us all 5,000. And we were like, fuck off, man. Like, that's not happening. So after that, and that was, I think that was supposed to be WonderCon 2020. And we told them to jog on, and you're sorry. And they ended up giving those to Shoppers Drug Marts throughout Canada. They took those on and spread them around different Shoppers across Canada, because I saw one at Shoppers and I'm like, well, those are supposed to be ours. It started to sour from there, but like unbelievable how bad the kid, like, and again, there's only one who has the right, and I'm definitely not going to say their name out loud just to avoid any kind of bullshit, but there's only one Canadian distributor for Canada, and how bad they are at what they do is frightening.
I mean, is it? So I would hope one day Funko themselves, their Funko show and all that, sees like channels like Chris and I, definitely K-Dog and Fish Show, because you guys have a mini production as good as, if not better than
we
Funko's.
Try. Yeah.
We try. Honestly, God, I love you. I love you. It's a full on production. I love it.
For sure.
Love it. So I would hope to God that they would see your show and just hear this, and that's just feedback from one a client. I deal with clients every day on the hour, on like hourly basis, right? Working on issues and stuff with them. So for me, hearing your story, it's a nightmare, and that's a PR nightmare, right? It's
they don't care.
International nightmare. It's becoming an international, because like now the Canadians are getting the shaft, man. Come on, you guys up in the top shelf there are getting the shaft, and that shouldn't be the case. That really shouldn't be the case, considering they're so close. Funko USA headquarters so close to the Canadian border, I would think. So I don't know.
The frustrating part is everywhere else where Funko has a foothold has their own website, their own physical stores. So Funko Europe, Funko US, but there isn't one for Canada, and that's what we're trying to build that relationship, be a shared retailer for exclusives, really be a Funko shop for Canada. And so after this happened with that WonderCon a couple of years ago, we called Funko headquarters in Everett every day for 2 months, and nobody returned our calls. I emailed I was even watching a Funko on their YouTube channel. They did this thing where they were showing some of the salespeople and some of the artists, and they gave their names and stuff. So I went to the company directory and it was the head of international sales, by the way.
Nice.
And he was on the video, and I got his name in the directory, the company directory, and left him a voicemail about what's going on in Canada. Crickets. Nothing. So they don't
That's
give two shits at all about Canada and our problems. They don't care. So
wow. That's sad to
it
hear, man.
and like it was so frustrating to go through it and then
Yeah.
have Funko US like head office not even acknowledge our concerns as like we're selling your product only. That's all we sell is Funko, and you won't even call us back or return my email about the problems with the Canadian distributor. So we're going through another USA distributor. A lot of it's through Entertainment Earth, and then other USA retailers, and we have a wholesale account like we do with the Canadian distributor, but we're just gonna start bringing everything in from the States because it's
Nice.
more
Yeah.
great customer service, more reliability, more. We're gonna get
The stuff
things
you
sooner
want.
because the stuff from the Canadian distributor will be like again when it comes to the Disney Ultimate Princess Wave 2. This is something I was delayed 18 months before we got them. And every time
That's
we ask the Canadian distributor, there's no answer. Meanwhile, Funko US has them. Entertainment Earth has them. The parents,
your customer base is like, yeah, cancel order from here.
yeah. So they could go to EB
Hand in hand.
Games and pick it up because they're getting their stock from GameStop USA. They don't have to deal with the Canadian distributor. And the
Yeah.
Canadian distributor
Yeah.
also doesn't care because Funko is this much of what they do. They're the only Funko distributor for Canada, but they do all kinds of statues, memorabilia, sports cards, Pokemon cards. Like they have a big, massive thing that they do. So but they also have the rights to Funko in Canada, and that's the problem. Is they're so shitty at what they do, and yet if you're an independent retailer in Canada, you have to get your pops from them. It's crazy. It's
Interesting.
Yeah.
madness.
So I got a
So-
question for you.
Sorry.
So Fish. So after the whole WonderCon debacle, even if they're going to do another, say, going to do a shared Star Wars exclusive K-Dog and Fish, what character would you choose?
I would be all over
And
that.
right. So if they're doing exclusive for a Star Wars one, what would you choose?
Okay.
And the follow up to that is if they kind of did something like they did the Conan O'Brien pops and they did a K-Dog and Fish pop, what character
Ooh.
would you yourself be? And what do you think K-Dog would have chosen?
Oh my goodness. That is a great question. What exclusive would we like? I'm trying to think of something that hasn't really been done yet. And that's tough. I'm trying to think of something that has not been done that would be an exclusive that we would agree to bring on as a K-Dog and Fish exclusive for a con or something. I'm trying to think of something they have not done yet. I mean, if we're thinking future projects, like there's going to be 3 new independent Star Wars films. One of them is going to feature Rey's continuing story. So maybe there'll be some cool characters from that. Oh man. But as far as like maybe it'd be like a I love villains too. Like as much as I love Han Solo is my favorite character from the OG. But so if I would be myself
Yourself
as
as a Star
Han,
Wars.
I'd be Han, and I think K-Dog's blonde, so I think him as Luke. If we're doing it as like we're getting them as both of us together. The other cool thing would be when Han and Luke wore stormtroopers outfits in New Hope.
Yes.
But it would be us. It would be us as Han and Luke, but in stormtrooper outfits.
Nice. That would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah. So as far as other Star Wars characters that haven't been made into Funko Pops, what would be your top 5 characters you'd like to see from current Star Wars projects that
You
are
know what they
already
haven't
out.
done? You know what they haven't done? And it pissed me right off is the Obi-Wan series Anakin with half the helmet exposed.
Yes,
That would be a Funko
that's
Pop.
that's one that I really thought they were going to reveal at Celebration as like a surprise. Like, hey guys,
Oh,
here.
we got a custom.
Yes,
I had to make my
yes,
own. I had to
It's
make
so
my
cool.
own.
Yeah, that's the one I would pick, man. That would
Right?
be,
This is what I thought would have been the Star Wars celebration.
yeah. That to me was something they missed that they should have done after the finale of Obi-Wan.
Dude, it should have been
yeah.
ready.
It
Like,
was a
you know what?
huge
The way I
miss.
look at it is the Super Bowl. They win the Super Bowl 2 minutes after they're saying I've gone to Disneyland. You as a fan could go online and buy
Yeah,
the shirt
buy
they're
that
wearing on the
shirt.
field,
Yeah.
right? Or the
Yeah,
ball cap. I'm sorry. These guys have a way of getting that information and just jump ahead and get onto it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think with leaks for all sorts of things, because when I used to work at Apple, there are so many problems with trying to get like a case or something like that. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
someone leaked something. I just wish that they just who cares? People are going to leak about the movies. They're going to leak about your TV shows. They're going to leak about future gadgets. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, if they're worried about the leaks, hey, that means people want your shit. People want your product. So like, get your product in their hands sooner than
Yeah.
later, because eventually they're going to lose interest and they'll find other things to spend their wallet and money on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree.
Especially when you're dealing with like Star Wars collectibles, right? Because a fan could easily get turned to the Black Series, the Vintage Collection. They could go into the Lego, and they might already be in it. So I honestly, when I see a brand like Funko that's thriving, and that obviously they're doing so well, they can jump them into a landfill. I just think maybe you should choose what brands and IPs you're going to do. Maybe not do so many of them
Too many
until you
SKUs.
see any of it succeeding, like the one or
Yeah.
two you've done succeeding. Then you test the water and then you go there. But maybe not have all this anime, because maybe not as many people collect the anime as you think.
Too much anime, man. Too much anime.
And even like Marvel and DC, like I mentioned to Christopher, I find they have so many more DC, but DC doesn't have what content has DC pushed out really recently?
And they didn't do Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
No.
Why not?
Probably because it was too depressing of a movie, and they didn't want to buy a Funko Pop that relates fun and excitement. I don't know, but if you had him doing the pose of him dancing on the stairwell, dude, that's
gonna sell. That's gonna
instant
sell.
moneymaker.
Yeah.
Just that one pop.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
You don't need to do 50 of every character. So I don't know what's going on.
No.
I don't want to speak badly about Funko because I love Funko. I
I
want them
do
to
too.
succeed
Yeah.
as a collector and a lover of Funko. I'm like a Funko. We're all three of us are like Funko evangelists, right? We love the brand. We love the products. We love how it's evolved. I want to see it continue. And I want to see it be at one of the top of the collectible heaps. You know what I mean? I want to see them there years later, like you see the Sideshow collectibles and Hot Toys and the Hasbro Black Series.
I think they need to do less SKUs, and then the SKUs they are making need to blow everyone away. Like,
yes.
I was not a fan of and I'm a massive Marvel fan. I was not a fan of the Eternals. It was not the greatest movie. And they did 13 commons for that friggin' turd.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need it. Pick the coolest character.
No.
The one like lead character. I know it was a very big ensemble, but dude, I just drove me nuts that there was that many commons for that. Or the Miss Marvel TV show. I still have. I can't get rid of them. I got piles of them because they did.
Really?
And where are those Eternals Funko Pops now? I see them at Dollarama.
They're a Dollarama because they made too many and they did all these characters that nobody cares about, right? Like it's you got to do less SKUs, and then you got to make wicked molds and characters that people care about. As much as somebody might like Eternals, I didn't, but if you like Eternals, you're gonna love probably the lead, or you don't need 13 comments for that
No.
movie.
No.
It's crazy. Don't do every character. Like, same with the Shazam people, or Black Adam. The Black Adam pops. You did the Black Adam, and then you did the Black Adam floating. But then, who cares about the Atom Smasher and the Cyclone? Like, you didn't. There was a bunch of commons that you just didn't need.
Yeah,
It was
I
way
think that
too
even
many.
with Star Wars, because like I love Darth Vader, he's my favorite character, and I love a lot of different iterations, but I don't need the whole artist series. I don't need,
No.
the Imperial logo printed all over him in red and gray and black, and that's cool. No. And then, to your point, we just had the Obi-Wan series, and then you release a 10-inch Lights and Sound. I pre-ordered it freaking hoping it would have sounds and stuff and sound bites from Obi-Wan Kenobi. I have the little one that makes the same shit. I'm like, really?
I have both.
That's
both.
abysmal. I wanted it to. I have both too. I wanted it to have different stuff, And again, I would have liked to have, the way I looked at it, they did the Vader.
Helmet.
They could have had it with LEDs in the edge where you could do it. So when he's speaking, to Obi-Wan, it could go blue. And then when he goes, I'm going to get you, it turns red. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just, I don't know. I just get so frustrated because I know they've got some talented artists and I know a lot of them are fans. So what's the disconnect here? I don't know. That's
agree.
one that for sure is the most iconic scene in the whole goddamn show. And you don't have that as a pop.
And that should be a pop. Yeah.
100%. If you had one image to take away from that show, that's the image.
That's the image.
That's it.
And you don't, and you didn't need the other side characters.
I didn't need Reva with it unlit and then lit. I didn't need Obi-Wan with a hood, no hood. Not even that. He barely wears that the entire thing. And when he finally fights Vader, he doesn't have his robe on at all.
But
like
Ice Cube's son.
Ice Cube's son. And then the
Dinesh from Silicon Valley.
The other guy from Parks and Rec and stuff.
And then who was the what was the name of the character? She led them out of
Tala Dearth.
Tala.
They released they released one of her too. Yeah.
I'm like, just give me Obi-Wan, give me Anakin.
They didn't release a young Leia. Like they didn't release a young
Leia. I agree. I was surprised they did Tala Dearth, but I'll be honest. I was amazed after photographing that one how detailed it looks so good that I was like, man,
I'll give you that.
Yeah, like I'd love to see other characters like that. Like, give me like Krennic with the black hat and the white. Like that would be cooler. So I don't know. I don't know how they pick and choose. Are they spinning a damn wheel over there?
I'll give you one example too that has frustrated me for a long time, and it's not Star Wars, but why? I don't know if you guys watch Stranger Things.
Yes.
So they've done everything for Stranger Things you can imagine, but there's no Murray pop, and he's the guy with the beard. He actually in season 4 got
he kicks ass in that
a bigger role. His role's only increased. His role was increased in season 3 because he was the one communicating for Alexi to Hopper, and then his role increased even more by helping them go to Russia to save Hopper
when they went to Russia and got out because he's a black belt.
Yeah, and he's a black belt in karate. Like, I love Murray. Murray's one of my favorite characters on that show. And they have done absolutely everything from the show, but they've never done Murray in 4 seasons.
I didn't even realize that. That's crazy. Because they've got like 12 dozen Steves, right?
There's, I don't need Joyce with magnets, Joyce with lights, Joyce, like, I no, I don't need a bunch of Ericas. I don't need yeah, and you're right. There's tons of Steves. I do love Steve, and I love Dustin, but like for the love of holy, like why can I not get one Murray pop, just one? And I'm like, oh, they'll do it as a convention exclusive last year when with season 4, and I'm like, nope, like just one. I want a Murray.
Yeah, no. I was going to
No one's
ask you.
getting
I
it.
know you have such a big collection. Is there one Star Wars Funko Pop that you absolutely want that's evaded you if that's even possible? Because I
Oh
know you go through some great lengths to get some really good, rare, hard to get your hands on Funkos. Is there one
yeah,
Star Wars Funko Pop that's eluded you that you want? That's a grail.
holographic Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh,
That one. That
I
has
think that was a
eluded
New
me.
York exclusive.
I think it was a New York Comic Con, and
Yeah,
I've seen it once. I don't personally own it. I think it's cool. I love Liam Neeson. I love Qui-Gon. I wish I had that pop. I do not have that pop.
nice.
It's eluded me. And the original
Yes,
General Grievous too. I would love that pop. I don't have that. I have the
I recently got that this past year. That one.
I got the Hot Topic one with the 4 sabers, but I
Yep.
the newer one, but I do not have the OG General Grievous.
Yeah, I got that newer Hot Topic with the 4 sabers, and after
Yeah.
staring at that, I really liked it. But there's something with the cape on the other one and everything. I was like, I got to get the OG one.
Gotta
So I
get the
went back and
OG, man.
I had
Yeah.
to. I went back and got that one. I was like, man, this one does look damn cool. It's just
Looks
a little
cool.
different this time. Damn cool. Damn cool.
There was also a
So
Smuggler's Bounty Count Dooku. I've had it in
I
the
have
store
that.
probably 3 times. I don't have that pop.
Yep.
I would love to have Count Dooku, especially after watching Clone
Yes.
Wars series, not just the prequels, but I would love to have a Count Dooku.
Yeah, I actually have that Smuggler's Bounty Count Dooku. And then I photographed it. And I'm like, well, you look back at all your images, right? And you compare them. And I'm like, I don't like that one as much as, others. But then I
Yeah,
was recently looking at that Dooku saying, should I customize
Yeah.
him? No. I was honestly hoping
Yeah.
we'd get a Tales of the Jedi version, like with the brown hair, the
yeah,
blue lightsaber, the brown and cape with the
Second
different,
Emperor. Yeah.
a
slightly
young
different.
Oh,
Dooku.
Yeah, he would
Yeah,
just look so slick. And they've done some of the pops where it actually has that kind of, I don't know, like the angular sketch style of the animation, of
yeah,
Dooku, because he's kind of a little more angular than rounded. And you could kind of see they kind of did that with like the Jar Jar from the Clone Wars series. So I would love to see them do a Tales of the Jedi, batch. I mean, that would be awesome. To have
nice.
a young Dooku would be
Young
kick
Dooku.
ass. Kick ass. I know I'm looking forward to getting the
yeah.
new the Luke Vader Return of the Jedi scene, and I'm going to get
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
Emperor, which is that Hot Topic exclusive or
Yeah.
whatnot. I'm definitely getting all
yeah,
three, but I might actually get a second set, or at least a second of the Luke
Second
and
Emperor.
Vader,
Yeah. Oh,
because someone I just met through one of the social media groups is doing like miniature LED lightsabers, and I'm thinking, and I kind of was going back and forth. I have an idea because I'd love to have
ooh,
those with the actual LED lightsabers. But I also Chris mentioned in one of our reviews of that pop when it was releasing that they don't have any stars in that backdrop. And it kind of bothers us. So I said, you know what? If I'm going to go to the extent of having LED lightsabers installed in it, maybe I, have
do
little
some
holes drilled out
stars.
so you can do some stars. Why not? Why not?
yeah.
Nice.
If you're going big, you might as well go big. You know what I mean?
I like it.
Yeah. See,
All
I was
right.
thinking I was going to get the second Palpatine and take him off the base there. So, and put him at the back.
Nice, very
Nice.
nice.
What is the most you spent on a Star Wars Funko Pop for your collection?
Oh, a Star Wars one that I spent the most on. Oh boy. I'm fortunate enough that like before we opened the shop, I probably got a few exclusives and stuff, but since we opened the shop, we buy collections. I'm usually buying them at a reduced rate so we could retail them at PPGs. So I'm fortunate enough that a lot of the Star Wars ones that I do have, I have gotten for a really good price. So I don't actually
Yeah.
know. And then I was lucky enough to grab them when they were not stupid expensive either. Like I grabbed the Emerald City Comic Con Padme Amidala, which is, I think it's very highly valued right now. But I got it when it came out, and I was lucky enough to get it for retail. So
Wow.
I am lucky in that sense. I haven't really. I wouldn't say that there's a bunch of my Star Wars pops that are worth a lot of money now. I didn't pay for that price when I got them. So I don't think I've ever paid more than $40 for a pop that I own as far as Star Wars is concerned.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah,
Not bad.
that's
Yeah,
really good.
I
So
have
what is your most expensive Star
been.
Wars one that you have?
What's the most expensive one? I check my
Yeah.
collection here. Let's see. I'm trying to think of, yeah, I have it set highest to lowest. As far as Star Wars, what's the first Star Wars one that appears? The Imperial Patrol Trooper San Diego Comic Con is the most expensive, and then Anakin with the dark side with the eyes, a Walgreens
Yep.
exclusive, is worth 144 Canadian right now. And yeah, it'd be the top two. And then my Han Solo on Tauntaun is now worth over $100. So it's pretty
Very
good.
nice.
And then the Padme Emerald City Comic Con. Oh, she's dropped a little bit. She's at 82 right now. There you go.
So I was going to ask you, what is your thoughts on the Star Wars Funko Pops going to that digital, that NFT? Have you done any of those?
I've done the NFTs and it's hit or miss. Like if you are lucky enough to get a redeemable, that's amazing. And I will try because I love Star Wars so much. But it's a complete roll of the dice. I've bought some packs where you don't get anything, and I have to like try and convert it to a blockchain so that people could try and buy them from me or whatever. Because I have no use for the NFTs unless they're actual physical redeemable pops. But if you do get those are cool. Like we've gotten the Spock one before that we'll auction off to our collectors because we can only get the one, obviously, and it's like a limited under 1,000 piece. And the boxes are cool, the molds are cool. Like we've definitely gotten a bunch of NFTs before, a bunch of the Bob Ross ones, Bluto from Popeye. So we have a Batman one, which is one of the harder ones. I think it's 900 and something piece Batman NFT redeemable, and we're going to be auctioning that tomorrow on our virtual garage sale for the Ocho, which is our play on dodgeball, because we go live. We go live for 8 hours, so we call it the Ocho.
The Ocho.
The Ocho.
That's
So
awesome.
it gives. I don't have any NFT pops for my collection. If we were managed to somehow get a Star Wars one, I'd be all over that. I really, it's my thoughts on NFT is it's really cool if you get a redeemable. If not, then basically there's no point.
Yeah, I have not done it yet. I just, I personally would rather have a physical thing than some digital collector
same
card
here.
that I can't really do much with.
I do it as a gamble. It's a roll of the dice, and if I get the collectible, then I'm happy. But if I don't get the collectible, then I'm pissed off. So
I no. I want now. Let me ask you: after say someone has a redeemable, are redeemables out there easy to buy? Or are they like the price tags are ridiculous for those? Right off
the
the
price
top?
tags are ridiculous. I mean, luckily they still put a value on them, so you kind of know if you're overpaying or not. I've seen people try and sell the redeemables, which is cool, but you always want to make sure you're checking HobbyDB or the Funko app, trying to make sure that you're not overpaying for something. And the only NFTs we've ever sold are ones that we were lucky enough to redeem physically ourselves.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I'm looking for the Star Wars ones because I would want the redeemable. But I don't get the redeemable, then all right, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. What? So, is the card something that you can only look at through a certain app, right?
Yeah, it's a wax wallet, and you have your collection. They're all in there, spinning around in there, and you can sell or trade them. It's not really something I have the time
Can you
for.
download the card on your computer like a GIF or something that animates?
Yeah, you can download it like a video. Yeah, you could. It's basically a video, a GIF. Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen them, so I was disappointed when I heard Star Wars was finally going down that dark side. I was like, no.
It's Funko because they're going to make that money on people taking the chance for the redeemable.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
yeah.
Otherwise, like, you're just spending money on things that just sit on a computer screen that do this and move a little bit. There's no. I like, if you get a redeemable, great. If not, then it's not fun.
Yeah, no, I think that'll do it for the this live stream or this episode of the Funko Popcast. Fish, let everyone know where they can find you on social media, and you guys have a YouTube channel as well, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. It's at KDog and Fish on everything. We spell out the AND as far as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And our YouTube channel. We do podcasts as well that are available on iTunes and Spotify. We haven't done one in a little bit because we've been super busy, but we do continuously do 2 to 3 YouTube shows a week. And it's just searching KDog and Fish. And there's links to everything on our Instagram and website and kdogandfish.com, where we also sell all of our pops and everything for the store. Our retail function, like the online version. But yeah, it's just KDog and Fish on everything.
Yeah, definitely check it out, folks, because if you haven't seen or heard these guys, it's a production. It's well done. So I definitely
I appreciate that. We actually just did our third in the trilogy of us dressed as Care Bears reenacting Step Brothers scenes.
Yes, I saw that last one.
Called Step Bears. We did the job interview scene, and our editor Brian, who is a genius, was able to edit it as if the woman in the HR is asking the questions and we're there. It's a lot of fun. We've done 3 of these now, but on top of like the skits and our Thursday threesome show where we pick 3 random topics out of a bowl that's submitted by customers, and we have to talk about whatever that topic is for 3 minutes straight without zero prep, and we have to discuss that topic off the cuff. We do that every Thursday, and then we do Funko shows as well. We did a couple of real cool Grail reveal shows in the store, which instead of the studio, which is new. And we like to put the fun in Funko. We just have make people laugh.
And Patrick, where can people find you when you're not on the podcast?
When I'm not here with you, Christopher, chatting about all things Star Wars Funko Pop, I'm on my own channel, Toy Photographer, and TOYPHOTOGFR, spelled like a license plate, for those that haven't been there yet. But all I do is I create cool and custom imagery of Star Wars Funko Pop. That's all I do. And then every once in a while, I would do a what's in the box, which is my version of unboxing. So if you want to see some cool behind the scenes, some really kind of creative Star Wars Funko Pop images, I'm always out there creating new images. I think I finally shot the first one twice. And it's not because I ran out of things to shoot. It was because I just saw a scene from one of the recent Mandalorians is like, I got to recreate that. So,
nice.
Please, if you haven't come by, like, subscribe.
Yeah. And when I'm not on the podcast, I'm on my other channel, Seriously Star Wars, doing weekly Star Wars reviews. Anything from Funko Pops, mainly, to Black Series figures. But I'll leave everything linked in the description and show notes below. Fish, thank you so much for coming on the Popcast today.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and thank you everyone for watching or listening to the podcast wherever you get your podcast from, and we'll see you in the next episode.